Today we are doing session 2 from the previous color correction that I posted, which I will link the card in the top right hand corner if you want to go and check it out. We transformed her from purple. We just lifted all of her purple out. So this is what we faded to. So today I'm going to create a rich brunette with a glowy highlighted look. I want to make sure her hair appears close to her natural, nice and dark, but just have like a glow of highlights throughout. So I also need to change the pattern so we have more smooth transitions throughout. I'll do reverse balayage to bring more depth through her lengths and add highlights around her face and to the crown so that the color is not concentrated just to the ends. I'm also going to give her a butterfly layered haircut as well to give her long, thick hair, lots of movement, and make it just softer around her face. I'm going to make the face frame the focal point of this haircut, so I'm going to cut a stationary guide here and over direct the other sections to this one guide. This is going to create the effect of lots of long, pretty layers that aren't choppy. The butterfly layered haircut or butterfly haircut is super popular right now. It's very trendy. The 90s are just coming back, just a little bit more refined, which I love. But I don't want you to be intimidated by it if somebody asks you for this, because it's really just a long layered haircut with special emphasis on the face frame. And I typically like to do more round layers. I think that looks the best. It gives you just nice transitions all the way through the lengths of the hair. Nothing looks choppy. And then I just go in and texturize everything. If you want, I can do a tutorial just on that haircut as well. This is just kind of me running through it, so it's not that detailed. But if you'd like me to do that, let me know in the comments and I will do a tutorial on that. After the cut, I just gave it a rough dry, and now I'm going to section so I can start doing my color. I'm going to do her face frame highlights first, and the face frame highlights are going to trickle a little bit into the lengths of the hair and into the back of the hair just slightly, and then I'm going to do mostly lowlights. So I'm going to make this sectioning very easy. I just do one big section in the back and one section on either side of her hair in the front. My goal here is to lift to a level 8, so I'm not going to use anything higher than a level 10. I may bump it up to 20 at the very end just for the last few highlights, but I don't need anything more than a level 10. Remember, the developer controls the speed. The lightener controls the level of lift. So just because you're using a lower developer doesn't mean you're not going to be able to get light. It just means it's going to do it slower, which in many cases that's such a benefit because you don't want to blast open that cuticle. That's what causes damage. So since I'm only lifting to a level 8, 10 volume developer is all I need. And this is just a shameless shot of my brand new pink gloves that I got from Salon Centric. Absolutely no function to them being pink, but very cute. 100% would recommend. I'm going to start her highlights right at the parietal ridge, aka the bottom of the crown area here. Now the reason is basically there's so many highlights toward the bottom of the hair that I really just need to pepper in some right at the top and the crown area with more emphasis around the face. That's all I need to do to make this hair all connect and be cohesive together. So I'm actually taking a very fine slice off the top and weaving thick weaves. So it's a very thin section, but the weaves themselves are very thick. So that's how I'm going to create dimension throughout the top. And I'm going to alternate between thicker weaves like this and thinner weaves as well, just to give it a little bit of variation. And all of them are going to go right up to the top and be super fine in density. For this next section, I'm going to move right into doing her hairline, and you'll notice right where these two sections connect, there will be a brighter piece that also will be right next to her hairline falling around her face. So what I'm going to do is actually air touch this one, use the blow dryer to kind of separate the hair into a fine weave. And the reason is because I kind of wanted to tease it, but her hair was just so smooth right there that the air touch was just going to work a little bit better. So I went ahead and tried to weave it. You'll see that. And then I just realized as I was teasing it that it was just too smooth and it wouldn't really hold. So I'm like, okay, I'll try to air touch it. And air touch is really cool. It just kind of separates all those baby hairs and pulls them down. And it makes just like a really smooth, diffused look at the root. I actually have another video on air touch if you wanted to check that out. I will just link the card right in the right hand corner there if you wanted to watch that video as well. And for this next section, I'm making it very large, and I'm starting it right at the part line and going all the way through the crown area. So this will create a nice veil that will fall through the crown area heading toward the back of the hair. But if you'll notice, all of these foils share a common point right at the hairline. So you're going to see a concentration of brightness right at the hairline and a little bit more of a scattered dimensional look as you move back away from the face. So with each section, I'm just continuing to slightly pivot so that I end up horizontal and parallel to my part line. And on the other side, I'll go ahead and continue doing the same exact thing. So keeping the sections more of a diagonal back, and we're pivoting until we end up parallel with the part line. So for this back portion, sectioning is really going to be the key because I'm going to be doing a braided reverse balayage. So this is something that's been kind of popular lately, so I'm just gonna kind of do my own version of it here in this video. But basically what I'm doing is pre-sectioning the hair and pre-weaving it so that I can easily apply my low light without using foils. So all of the hair left in the back will be kept as my highlight and toned down a bit, and everything hooked onto my clips is going to be my low light. So it's really important when you're doing this to make sure that you use different colored clips to differentiate the sections. That way you know where the dark color goes and where the lighter color stays. So just a closer look at what I'm doing is I'm basically just weaving a pretty thick weave. It doesn't have to be super fine or anything, because remember, these are going to be lowlights. You don't want them to get lost in the hair. So I'm just doing a pretty thick weave. I'm separating it in the middle and hooking each side onto the clip to keep it separated. And I just go up the head and do that same thing all the way up. As I move to the top of the crown area, sometimes I make the sections a little bit thinner and just kind of intermix thinner weaves with thicker weaves at the top there. I think it's just a really fun technique to use, especially if you are doing lowlights that are going to go all the way through the ends of the hair. It's just an easier way to apply, and you don't have to waste foils. It's kind of fun. You do have to just think really hard in the beginning. And you can't mess up, because if you mess something up, you're messing up an entire big section of hair. So that would only be the only downside, I would say. For example, if you were just kind of going through and doing foiled lowlights, you can always just kind of go back to that one foil and fix things if you need to. But this, you're not doing things one at a time, so just keep that in mind when you're doing it. Now, so that I stay organized and I don't lowlight the wrong thing, I'm going to take all of the sections and put them in clips, and I'm going to use different colors so I can differentiate between the sections that I'm going to be lowlighting and the sections that I'm going to be just leaving alone. So I'm using the pink and purple clips to denote the sections that I'm going to take darker with my lowlight, and I'm using the black clip so that I know to leave that one alone. If you enjoy my hair tutorials, please let me know by leaving me a thumbs up, a comment, share this video with a friend, help it get recommended to others. That would be so helpful. But also, I have a free online class in the link in the description below. This free class just details my entire signature ultra blended color method that I use to kind of triple my income in basically a year. And I'm sharing with you all the technique and methods in that free class. If you're interested in that, make sure to check the link in the description below. So right now I am just going ahead and applying my lowlight color, and I'm just slapping it right on to those entire sections and squishing it all through. You can separate it out into smaller sections if that makes you feel more comfortable, but we did it plenty fine by just slapping it all on there. It was so easy. So once you have it all weaved out, it just makes the application part just go a lot quicker. After applying my lowlight, I'm going to go back to my highlights that I applied and check on them, and we are looking for a level 8, so we're not quite there yet. I'm going to fold it up and wait till we get to a level 8, and then we will go ahead and rinse, and then I will explain my finishing color melting formula. For her root shade formula, I did 4NB, 3NW, and 4N in equal parts. And 4NB is kind of a brown with a little bit of a red base. NW is going to be a little bit more of goldish, warmer tones, natural with warmer tones. And then N is just going to be your natural, but it is on the cooler side. So that is going to be my base color. I'm mixing that up here, and then next I'm going to do an all over gloss, and that's all I'll do to completely finish this look. The all over gloss is going to be 7N, 6NB, and 7M, and I'm going to do that in equal parts as well, all over. So I decided to style her hair with a 90s blowout since I gave her a 90s cut. I thought it would be fun. I love seeing the smoothness of everything and the bounciness of everything once that's done. So all I did was I curled the hair and then set it in rollers. This helps it to stay longer, and she'll be able to get a few days out of this blow dry by doing it this way. And her hair just stays smooth and bouncy, and it's just so fun to do. And next I'll bring her out into the natural light so you can see what it looks like in daylight and just see all of the details. This is kind of backlit, so it's not giving you a very good detailed view. So I'll bring her out into the light so you can see that as well. Thank you guys again so much for watching this tutorial. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know how I'm doing, let me know if there's any videos that you would like to see, leave your requests in the comments. Thank you guys again so much, and make sure to check out that free class. And again, that will be linked in the description below. So now we have a rich brunette, and she has mostly her natural with just a glow of light throughout. And all we had to do to make her light ends connect was lighten her on the face and crown to create that connection. And then we also brought down that low light. The M series in Shades EQ is so great for giving a cooler tone that mimics natural tones. So this is a great thing to add to your lowlights, even if you're taking it significantly darker. If most of your formula is a fill and a natural, you can add the 4M just to kick it over to the cooler side without making it go muddy. So I hope you really enjoyed that, and I hope you got a lot out of it. And I just want to thank you again so much for watching. Again, my name is Lauren, and I will see you in the next video.